We're live. Hello.
Hello.
I'm not late. 8:01. This is
I know.
Samantha. If you've never met Samantha before,
I bet I'm on here all the time.
I know, but
It's
some
normal.
people have just maybe this is their first time they've
I
come on
know.
here.
Yes.
Samantha has a palate expander
Yeah, I just got it.
in her
Like
mouth.
I'm ready to take off soon.
Well, then it's braces time.
Yeah.
Okay. Want to show people your palate expander? Can we see it? We got to take a little key. I don't do it.
Yeah.
Mom does it.
I just put the key in. I'm on number 30 after the 32. Okay.
Well, then you have to go back, and then
Yeah.
they tell you if you have any more, right?
Oh yeah.
All right. What do you have to tell the people? Are you excited for Thanksgiving?
Yes, I'm so excited for Thanksgiving, and I've been reading like a lot of books. I have like 136 books so far.
136 books. But what? Tell everybody what book I bought you today.
Um,
Do you remember the name of it?
Where the Sidewalk Ends.
Where the Sidewalk Ends. When I was a kid, we would have to like fight each other in the library because the school only had one copy of that book, and everybody wanted to have it.
Did you ever get it?
I mean, I got it once in a while, but we had to share it. So if somebody else wanted to read it, we had to bring it back.
We should have like a list. Like if you already had it, you're at the bottom. If you haven't had it, you're at the top-ish. Like that.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So, hey, hello to everybody who's in here. Hello to Jen Winters. I'm sorry I missed you today. Jen was telling me the other day how very ugly she thinks you are.
What the heck?
No way, of course not. And congratulations to our friend Paige, aka Lulu, who is getting married on Friday. So she's in Arizona, where she's getting married. All right.
Yeah.
All right. What shall we do? Any questions for Samantha before we send her away? And I have myself a little drink. I have to be done tonight by 8:45 so that I could put this one to bed. Do you want me to read Piggy and Gerald book for you?
Sure. Yeah.
Which one?
I don't know. I just picked one out.
Okay. Let's see. Jen wants to know, what's your favorite Oasis album?
I've actually just got a new album for my own.
Samantha got her
album.
own stereo.
Yeah.
In her room.
I got a CD. That's actually the Yield album.
That's Pearl Jam, not.
I know. Oh wait, Oasis. Yeah.
Yes.
I have one of them.
What's the story, Morning Glory?
Yeah.
All right. What else? What's your favorite Thanksgiving dish?
Cranberries.
Cranberries?
Yeah.
That's your favorite?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you like Bus Stop Dad?
Yes.
Who's Bus Stop Dad?
You.
Oh,
a different thing.
You just elbowed me in the schnoz. Thoughts on Oreos? Who doesn't like Oreos?
I know. There's mint Oreos. I got these Oreos that are like, say boo on them and stuff like that for Halloween, and they have orange frosting.
Well, it tastes just like regular Oreos, though. Okay. What else? Do we know who Mrs. Gearhart is?
Yes.
Says Samantha. Mrs. Gearhart says hi.
Oh, thanks.
Who's Mrs. Gearhart?
Oh, she's a 5th grade teacher that I talk about all the time.
She's a 5th grade teacher?
Yeah.
Hi, Mrs. Gearhart. Who else? Have you tried Pop Rocks?
No.
No?
I've never tried Pop
Rocks. It's a candy that...
Is it like fizzy?
Yes, it like pops and fizzes in your mouth. What's your favorite subject in school?
I like to read a lot, so speaking of, I read so much. That's my favorite subject in school.
Oh, do you want to show people your hideous nail polish?
My dad hates nail polish. My hands are so and then hands are tiny.
Playing video games yet? No, Samantha does not play video games. Are you excited for Santa?
Yeah.
Yes, Santa comes to our house every single year. And what are we leaving him this year? Did we leave him booze last year?
No.
Like a shot of whiskey?
No, we left it eggnog.
Eggnog. Well, maybe I put a little something in the eggnog because I'm sure Santa likes
it.
No. What are you asking for this year?
I want lots of American Girl dolls.
Lots?
Well, not lots.
Lots?
But one. Me and Mom were searching on the computer on the make their own American Girl doll.
Yeah.
And we found one that's just like me, and we pick out the
I
clothes
don't.
and the hair.
I don't know why you like those things.
I love them.
Because
They're like little tiny dolls and like.
No, because the one that you have right now is creepy, and it looks like it comes alive at night.
It does not.
And kills you.
It does not, though.
Okay. All right. Kiss.
I gotta get headed up.
Bye-bye. Say bye.
Bye.
All right, close the door, will you?
Okay.
Thank you. All right, tonight's selection is some 15-year-old scotch. All right. Thank you all for coming. I hesitate even advertising these things because I kind of like the intimate gathering, which is the opposite of what the radio station wants. And I'm sure our fantastic sponsor, the Lion's Den. What do you get the person that has everything for Christmas? That's what the Lion's Den is for. As a matter of fact, I told my wife that her Christmas presents are coming from the Lion's Den. She will get a stocking stuffer. And she's excited about it. All right. Questions? I have nothing prepared. I know last time we did this, I showed you radio ratings and whatever the hell else I did. And the feedback was, we don't give two shits. So here I am at your disposal. Ask away. What's the deal with Chops? Chops decided that this wasn't for him. And it was his decision. I respect his decision. He's about to be a dad. So he is trying to figure out his priorities. And he decided that, working in radio wasn't something that he wanted to do. At least working on the air in radio wasn't something he wanted to do. I see that he's still active on social. So give him a follow and figure out where his next destination is going to be. But this just wasn't, sometimes we get into a job that we think is going to be awesome. And then we get there and we keep waiting for it to be everything we thought it was going to be. And then you come to the realization that it's not. And some people can just deal with that and say, well, this is what I chose. I'm going to work every single day. Chops has a degree. He's a smart guy. And so he has other aspirations and he'll be successful in whatever he does. And I hope that he finds peace in whatever he does. But that's really all I know about it. I don't really text him often. I give him his space, but I told him that I'm always available if he needs something from me. He's a good guy, so I wish him well. Who's talking about Samuel Smith's organic lager? Because I have about 5 of them in my fridge right now. I love the hard apple cider. It is fantastic. Tive is full-time for 9 a.m. That's not my decision. I'm asked my opinion. I've given my opinion many times over the years. And there have been some times during my tenure at the Fan where it has been my decision. And then I realized that I hate making decisions. I hate managing people. So I gave those duties up. But I give my 2 cents, whether it's asked or not. I think Tyvis is awesome. I think Tyvis will have a bright future wherever he wants to be, whether it's TV, whether it's us. I don't know. I don't know if that's the right show for him. That's up to Bo. Bo needs to decide whether he wants another friend which is a sidekick sort of role. And that's no disrespect to what a sidekick does. Those guys are producers. They have to be on, they have to be personable, they have to be air personalities. But it's not the same as having a co host. Tyvis is not going to come in there and just be a sidekick. Tyvis is at the point in his career where he comes in to be a co host. Is that the type of show that Bo wants to do? That's up to him. So he'll have to figure that out. What happened to Jeff Booth? Jeff Booth was the weather guy over at Channel 10. I think he had some personal problems or something, but he was an interesting guy. How bad was the fiasco over last year's Michigan game loss and you're skipping commercials? After that day, it was fine. It was over with. You know, we work in a powder keg type of environment every single day. That's like people ask me, like, "Oh, what did Chops have to leave because of the Coors Light thing?" No, he didn't leave because of that. That was one day. You know, we've got shit that happens behind the scenes 10 times as bad every single week. You guys just don't see it. So when you work in a creative field like we do, and you work with egos and uh, sometimes smart people, sometimes idiots, you're going to have some problems. It doesn't mean that that's, one problem and that's the end of it. What's your best or worst story of a time when you managed someone? Um, Here's the thing. If I wasn't doing my own show, I think I could be a more effective manager. The problem is the way that I do my show is I really don't listen to any other radio throughout the day. All right. That's not a slight on our guys. That's not a slight on our product. I just think when I listen to radio, it affects what I want to do, subconsciously or not. That I'll pick up certain things or certain mannerisms or, jump on somebody else's hot take, and I don't want to do that. So I purposely avoid all radio before I go on the air at 3 o'clock. The problem when you're managing someone is you have to actually listen to their show and give them feedback, right? And I wasn't able to do that and still maintain the spontaneity that I want to maintain from 3 to 6, if that makes any sense. So that was a big hindrance for me. What are my thoughts on the OSU basketball team? I don't know. It's too early. I'm optimistic, right? I mean, you can't tell anything by Evansville. They won by 50 points. That's why I don't like. I know not every game can be a banger, but you gain nothing by scheduling a team like Evansville. You don't learn anything, okay? Because it's a glorified scrimmage for you, and the people who attend get little to nothing out of it. And I think we can have these learning experiences with quote unquote lesser teams before the Big Ten season starts or the big non-conference games come around without scheduling teams like that. Pumpkins are more for Halloween or Thanksgiving. I never understood why pumpkins went away after Halloween. Like in my neighborhood right now, half the houses have Christmas lights on already. I still have my pumpkins on the front porch, and I will have them there until the day after Thanksgiving, and then they will go away. But pumpkins are a pivotal part of Thanksgiving. Are we getting Leanna Ray back? No, I haven't talked to Leanna in a while. I hope she's doing well. Does it make you uncomfortable or aroused to know that downtown dad is not wearing pants right now and downtown mom is in the same room? Hey, he's at home living his best life. How do you know that I have pants on right now? You don't. Bill's Donuts is the best. Bill's Donuts is awesome. That's right. Regular at Iacano's in Shawnee Hills, but never saw you there. You like that pizza? I've had that many times. It's right down the street. For me, I personal preference prefer George's Pizza, which is right across the street. I think George makes a excellent pie. He's a good man. Um, Great ingredients. I get off on uh, pizza makers that tell you exactly what they use. Tell you the tomatoes they use, tell you the cheese they use, tell you the pepperoni they use. He's got all his ingredients lined up there for you to see them. And I make pizzas at home. He uses the same pizza cheese that I make. It's a half Mott's, half provolone blend. Grande is the brand, which to me is the superior pizza cheese. He uses Ezzo pepperoni, which is made locally here in town, which I think is significantly better if you like cup and char pep. He uses top quality stuff, and he's very transparent about that. He's a good man. How often do you use the pinball machine? Haven't used it in a while, but for a while there, Samantha and I were playing like every day. She got into it for a while, and her interest sort of wanes on things, but I'm sure we'll be back to it. Jen, you're wearing your coat. You're nuts. You're out of your mind. You know who also does that? Nicole from Channel 10. She's one of the new sports anchors on 10. When I say new, she's probably been there for months now, but she will sit at her desk just wearing her winter coat, and I want to rip it right off. Did you win the British auction? I won a couple things, and I had to pay for it this week. They sent me the bill. I won some Oasis memorabilia. Jen was there when I was bidding on it, and it was cutthroat. It's amazing that we live in 2024 where I'm sitting at my computer in Columbus, Ohio, and I got a live feed to an auction house in London where I'm bidding on things in real time. And so I won some handwritten Noel Gallagher Oasis lyrics, and I had to pay for those, which it was exciting to win. And then the realization comes that now I have to pay for it. I'd also like to point out that my particular American Express card that I use, if I go to a gas station that is out of my routine, they will ding that charge, like reject the card sometimes because it doesn't recognize where the hell I am, right? But I pay in British pounds in international transaction thousands of dollars, and it just goes right on through. No problem. I go to a Sunoco that's on the wrong street, fraud alert catches it. I pay a foreign transaction thousands of pounds, no problem. Who's got laser hair removal? Me? I wish. I need it on my ass. How did you get hooked on QVC? That's a good question. At first, it was because I was having trouble sleeping and it was on. And there's something about knowing that someone is actually speaking live that is comforting to me, which is why I was always drawn to the radio. Because at night, I'd listen to the radio and I would scan the AM dial and I would try and pick up different radio stations across the country. And then I would hear like local voices and things that I've never heard before. And I was drawn to that. And so QVC reminded me slightly of how that felt when I was a kid. And then I came to appreciate the high wire act that they do. I mean, they are constant. They can't have a bad day. They can't really have a bad moment. And if they do, they got to keep a smile on their face. They are selling products that they haven't used or tried or give two shits about, or maybe they have tried it and they think it sucks, but they can't tell you that. And so I admire the art of it, the craft of it. Because I don't know if you guys pick this up. I am in the bullshit business. That's what I do. I sit down for 3 hours a day and I bullshit you. Some of it's exaggerated, some of it's real, right? But I'm trying to hold your attention for 3 hours. These people are trying to hold your attention as they sell you a mop. And I respect that. And I learned to like it. And actually, they got some good shit on there. How's Rimmer really doing laying around all day? I think he's struggling with it. Um, you know, he's done it his entire life. He's used to traveling. And when all of a sudden you just go cold turkey, like I joke with T-Bone that when I decide to retire, I'm coming back on Wednesdays just to do Wild Card Wednesday. And that'll be the only day that I work, and then I go away. But now he's just gone away. And I feel like he feels like he's not useful anymore. He is. He's useful to his wife and family. But I worry about him. I hope he's doing all right. What's the bourbon tonight? Tonight is 15-year-old Scotch, my friends. I don't drink Scotch a ton. I am more of an Irish whiskey type of guy if I had my choice between the two, but this is good Scotch. I like it. Do you like Steve Mears on the call? Steve Mears has impressed me. I like his call. I try not to gush about him to Rimmer because I it's not like Rimmer wants Steve to fail. He doesn't. But nobody wants to hear, hey, this new guy, he's doing a really good job. Because even if you don't mean it in a negative way towards him, he may take it that way. Like, oh, well, he's talking about the new guy. I must suck. No one cares about me. No one misses me. We all miss him. But I think Steve is doing a good job. Hey, Jackie's here. Hi, Jackie. Jackie hates Tommy's Pizza. Are you a Blanton's fan? Absolutely. Have you tried the Whiskey War barrel proof or any of the other high bank products? I have many high bank products. As a matter of fact, Bo Bishop had his event there last week, and I did not attend, but somehow all of their products made their way into my house. So thank you for that. Ever had Enrico's Pizza on Franz Road? I have had it many, many times, and I do enjoy it. They also use a cheese that I like. I'm a cheese snob on pizza. I think sometimes people forget about the cheese because they get 19 million toppings on top, and I love to taste the cheese. It's not just something that melts and you're not supposed to notice it. And I don't know, but I think Enrico's uses some sort of provolone in their blend too, because I really like it. Stad's Pizza? Stade's? No, I've not had that. Ever had Sbarro's? Great local joint. Don't shit on Sbarro's. When you need a Sbarro, only that will do. You like a Jets deep dish? Sure, who doesn't like Jets? Jets is good. I make a mean Detroit pizza though. As a matter of fact, whenever I ask my wife what she really wants for dinner, she wants me to make a Detroit pizza. I make my own dough. I got my pan. I've got it down. and it is good. Sexton's is my go-to for pizza. I've had that as well, and it's also good. Different type of pizza, more of a wood-fired type of variety than your standard square-cut tavern style, but very, very good. Delco's Pizza in Delaware. Have not had it. What's the place that I like in Delaware? I've been there a million times. What the hell's the name of it? It's right downtown in Delaware. Amato's in Delaware. I've had Rubino's, many locations. Torita's, I've had that too. Very good. They also use top-notch ingredients. We need a common man pizza tutorial. I could talk about pizza all day. There was a time, and maybe I'll do it when I retire, that I wanted to write a pizza book called American Pie, because I contend that pizza is, in fact, a great American invention. And like, there's this guy, I follow these pizza guys on Instagram, because to me, that's like looking at hot women when I see pictures of pizzas on Instagram. Even if I'm not able to eat it, I like to admire it. There's a dude in Belfast, Northern Ireland. He runs a pizza place called Flout. All right. And he bakes his pizzas hard. Like, some people would look at that and say, that's burnt. I look at that and get an erection. And for inspiration for the type of pizzas that he wants to make and his favorite stuff, where do you think he goes? Does he go to Italy? No, he comes here. He comes to America, he eats American pizza, and then tries to replicate his favorites, put his spin on it in Northern Ireland. It is an American invention, but it requires two things of me that I don't know if I want to do: travel and talk to people. Because right now I sit in a studio, I talk to myself, or I talk to Bone or Timmy. It's completely different from going and interviewing, some pizzaiola guy in Milwaukee. I don't know if I want to do that. Podcasting was not a thing when I started. As a matter of fact, if I was starting in this business now, I wouldn't really know how to do it. I knew what to do back then, but I've been at the same job for 20. I've not had to apply for a job in 21 years. I wouldn't know how to do it. And I'm not going to. My contract was up a couple of years ago and I had people come to me, but in terms of me, seeking out other opportunities, I'm here until I'm not, and then I'm done. I'm not going to be like Jay Leno, in 30 miles outside of Pittsburgh, staying at the Hampton Inn with $200 million in my bank account. Trust me, I don't have $200 million, but I'm just, if you listen to the show today, you understand what I'm talking about. Favorite underwear brand? Whatever my wife buys me. Do you know how specific topics do? Yes, only by, well, you know what? That's not right. I was going to say only by anecdotal evidence, but we have done surveys. We've done listener surveys. We've not done one in a while, so maybe we'll do that again, asking people what they want to hear. And I love looking and seeing if people's answers correlate with what we see on the ratings, right? Because I've talked about this before. Like, when I worked in morning radio a long time ago, we would do these listener surveys, and it was, what do you want to hear in the morning? And the number one answer all the time was more music in the morning. And then we would do it We'd give them more music in the morning. And then guess what happened? The ratings went down because sometimes people don't know what they want. I know that sounds arrogant and stupid, but sometimes I don't know what I want. Sometimes I go into a restaurant and the menu is long and I think I know what I want. But ultimately, what I should really do is ask the chef, what do you want to make me? Because whatever you make me, whatever you want to make me, is going to probably be better than anything I can pick on this menu. And so think of me as your chef. And eventually, if you don't like what I'm serving you, you will stop coming. I will see it on my ratings and I will have to adjust. But the majority of people tune into us for a distraction, not necessarily for enlightenment. And sometimes we need to remind ourselves of that. And it's different depending on which day part you're working in. Noon is different than 2. That's different than 5, right? If I did a show at 9 in the morning, I'd do a completely different show. I used to do a show at noon. It was a different show. Now that I'm an afternoon drive, there's a certain audience. Most people are either getting off work or they're almost done with work. They're tired. They want to unplug their brain and consume some empty calories. And that's what I'm there for. What time is it? 8:32. All right. Somebody just remind me when it's 8:45, will you? Because I have a hard time seeing this clock because I'm fucking blind. What's Kristen's most annoying habit? She doesn't have any. She's a lovely girl. She's lovely. She's too wonderful. That's the annoying habit. Too wonderful. How many partially eaten snacks are in your pantry right now? This is what she does. See now, she's wonderful. I love her. We've been married for almost 18 years. This woman will go in the pantry. She will take one bite of something, put it in a Ziploc bag, and then put it somewhere in there to the point where now that would be fine if she came back later and finished it in a timely fashion. But she doesn't. If I go up there right now, I'll bring down 40 Ziploc bags with little tiny bites taken out of shit. The wasted food. And then I have to go in there every few months and clean everything out. But she's lovely. I love her. Most of the stuff I say about Kristen is bullshit or exaggerated. Give us some neighborhood drama. I can't do the neighborhood people may be listening to the or watching this podcast. I can't do that. I do feel really bad when there's a girl at the bus stop. Her name's Evelyn. She's a sweetheart, and her mom. And I see him every single morning. And sometimes when Evelyn in the afternoon goes to swimming practice, or she's an athlete, so she's always going all over the place. They'll put the show on and then tell me that they were listening, and it's always like when I'm talking about porn pad or something disgusting, and I feel bad, right? But at the end of the day, I have to do the show that I'm going to do. I do feel bad sometimes that there's some collateral damage with kids. I do think about that. I apologize if I put you in awkward positions with your children. It's not 8:45. Do you go to the grocery store or do the pickup? I go to the grocery store. I like to feel things and look at things. Matter of fact, tomorrow, here's a little news flash, and you're only getting this because you're here. I'm not working tomorrow, and I'm not working Friday. So this is the last you're going to hear from me for a few days. But tomorrow, my big plan is going to the grocery store. and checking some stuff out. I've been in charge of picking up some interesting cheeses for Thanksgiving by my in-laws. So I'm going to make a little it's a trip for me because I don't live near there, but I like the cheese selection they have at Littleton's in UA. It is bougie, it is overpriced, but they have good shit. And if you have good stuff, I will pay you for it. You listen to the show without me. Stop it. Support the guys. Timmy does a good job. Bone does a good job. Do you have a dream sponsor for the show? There's this website that sells used watches, and I've been trying to get them as a sponsor for the show for years, just because I want more watches. But they're not local, so they don't really understand what we do. And they're like, we don't do radio, we don't do sports radio. It's like, well, good, we don't do it either. Advertise with us. Give us a promo code. You'll see that it works. P.S. Give me a Rolex. What's your favorite sports memorabilia you own? I sold most of my memorabilia. I have a jersey on the other side of this wall from the 2005 Chicago White Sox. It was signed by the entire team. And just in case you've forgotten, yes, they did win the World Series in 2005. Sometimes I forget too, because it's been 20 fucking years since they've been relevant. I should not refill this glass. Don't let me refill it. I heard Jay Cutler's getting married again. I'm sure he has wonderful conversations. Can you imagine being married to this stupid moron? Like I just wondered, like, what does he talk about? He just stands there, sits there like a lump. It's for you, Jen. Guardians going to get a World Series in this window. Be a shame if they didn't. Actually, just bought a Guardians starter jacket for my nephew for Christmas because they are big Guardians fans. They live up in Akron. Homage has the starter jackets, which are awesome. Livy Dunn or Gabby Thomas? As much as I enjoy all things Livy Dunn, that's a stupid question. It's Gabby all day, every day. I love you. I bet you Gabby doesn't take little bites of shit and just leave it in the pantry, drive her boyfriend crazy. Gabby's in the chat right now. I wish she was. Gabby Douglas or Warwick Dunn? Warwick Dunn, former Tampa Bay Buccaneers running back, my guy. Not Gabby Douglas, Gabby Thomas. Did I say Gabby Douglas? I mean, I wouldn't turn down Gabby Douglas either, but completely different athlete. McRib is coming back. I hope it does. Timmy was so pissed off about the Krispy Kreme today, and rightfully so, because I've been pissed off about Krispy Kreme too. They take us for granted. Timmy and I are super fans of Krispy Kreme. We're always on your side. We believe in you. We keep coming back even when you screw us over. But eventually we're going to have enough. No, I'm not. I love you. Five more minutes. I got it. It's 8:41. I feel like my hair is getting thinner. But you know why that pisses me off? Because I got this stupid, like, laser cap thing that I wear. I've been using it for 3 months, and I swear to God, since I've been using it, my hair has actually gotten worse. And I'm online, like, is it natural? And they're like, yes, shedding does occur, but stick with it because you're going to grow a thicker head of hair. It could all be a bunch of bullshit, but I'm supposed to wear this thing every other day for like a year. And then apparently it'll be thick, lustrous. I believe none of it. No, it wasn't a QVC purchase. I've never had an issue with the Sawmill Krispy Kreme. You're out of your mind. Let me tell you something about the Sawmill Krispy Kreme. And first of all, good for you. I'm glad you haven't had an issue, but that tells me one of two things. You either don't go enough or you're an idiot. All right? I have pulled up there at 9 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday, only to be told we closed. Huh? When do you serve the donuts? Midnight? Should I come then? I miss the Andersons. I miss the Andersons too. I like the Andersons. I think they have like condos over there now or apartments or something. What happens at 8:45? I turn into a pumpkin. It's a school night and Samantha needs to go to bed. As a matter of fact, her bedtime is 8:30. I'm extending it by 15 minutes and she can't go to bed without dad and she needs to have a story from me. I know the Krispy Kreme is right by where the Andersons used to be. You know what else is around there is Vincenzo's. I've talked about Vincenzo's before. It's in that same plaza with Trader Joe's. They're good people in there. Italian meats and cheeses and prepared meals and olive oil and all that good shit. And they're big listeners of the show. They'll take good care of you. And they pay me nothing to tell you. As a matter of fact, they charge me double. I've had Amy's Donuts. Very good. We took our family pictures on Saturday. We do family pictures once a year. And then, we have the pictures and we put them on Christmas card. And I feel like all of you people that take time out of your evening to join me on these things somehow deserve a Christmas card. I don't know how to get them to you, but just know that I appreciate all of you very much. And there's two different types of listeners. There's the listeners who listen to the show and they dig it, and they'll see me and they'll say, "Hey man, I listen every single day. What time you come on? 2?" Yes. Now I know they listen and they're just confused, and they pay the bills for me too. But those of you who pop in here and take time out of your evening to spend with me, I feel like even though I can't see all of you, I've met a lot of you, and I really, really appreciate it because that's what, to me, the radio connection is all about. When I was a kid, I didn't know if I wanted to do TV or radio or what I wanted to do. I wanted to do something in that area. So I sort of, went to a TV station and I shadowed people, and then I realized like I don't feel any sort of connection with who I'm supposed to be talking to. But then I do this, and that's one of the reasons why I haven't wanted to do national radio. National radio is very impersonal. I like this. I like that we can have this time together. With that being said, I'm done for the evening. All right. And if You know what? If you email me your address, I'll send you a fucking Christmas card. All right? So everybody have a great evening. I'm off the next couple days. So I'll see you on Monday. And go Buckeyes. Good night.